My name is Dominique, and I'm telling my story on my childhood trauma. My parents' relationship was never really healthy. They had good moments, but it wasn't anything healthy. We saw more bad times than we saw good. My dad was several years older than my mom, and he was also married. He didn't tell her that at the time, though. As they started being together and as time went on is when she found out. When she tried to leave, it didn't work out. His way of keeping her was to beat her, not just physically, but emotionally. Everything was either you're not pretty enough, oh, you're black, and my mom isn't even that dark. My mom is brown skinned. But his nickname for her was, he would beat her down with words. When the words stopped working, he would start hitting her. When I was little, I remember times when he did come home, because he would usually be with his family. When he did come and visit us, everything was forced. Oh, go make me something to eat. And she never wanted to do anything, but she did it. And I never understood why she would keep doing stuff for him that she didn't want to do. And he never talked to her really like she was a person. He would have his moments where, for the most part, he didn't talk to her like a person. He talked to her like she was a possession. It would really be bad the times that he would come over. Because he did a lot. And he also drank, which intensified it. When those were the cases, it's usually when things started to escalate because my mom didn't want him around us like that. When she would make a comment about it, of course, he'll lay in on her. She didn't really let him whoop us when we did things like that or did anything. She wouldn't let him really whoop us because it was like the way he treated her. Like, why would I let you whoop my children? And it was one time that I can't remember what I did or what my brother did, but we did something and it really upset him. He decided that he was going to whoop us. He didn't use his hand. He didn't use a belt. He used whatever was close to him. If it was a shoe, he would use a shoe or an extension cord. And it was only a few hits, but he's a man, so it hurt bad. So they got into a fight about that. I'm not going to say that he was always a monster because, he had his moments. For the most part, we would hear more than we seen. We would usually see after effects a lot. But I was still a daddy's girl. Like, that's still my father. I love my dad. When he was gone, things would be great. We're happy. My mom spoiled us to death. She was awesome. We would do everything. When he was there, she was always sad and down and she wasn't herself. And my mom isn't a drinker. But when he was around, like, that's how she can deal with him. I just heard my mom screaming and them yelling and them arguing. And so we come down the stairs. I try to go and find her. And the screaming just got so bad that I just paused because my little brother came running down at that time. So I'm holding him and we're on the stairs and we're just listening. We're just listening to the yelling. We're listening to the screaming. And then she goes quiet. It's a while before he comes out and he sees us on the stairs and he's like, well, I'm gonna leave for a little bit. I love y'all. And he just left. So I went to find my mom because I'm calling her. She's not saying anything. I just see blood all on the wall all the way to the bathroom. I get to the bathroom. She's in the bathtub. It's blood and she's not moving. He took a bottle and hit her across the jaw with it so hard it not only shattered her jaw, but it knocked her teeth out. So she was unconscious. I don't know where I went in my head after that, but everything is just black. She went to the hospital. She got her mouth fixed. Of course, her mouth was wired shut for a while. And I never understood, why do you keep taking this? I don't understand. Like, yeah, we love dad and, we like when he's around sometimes. We don't always like when he's around. Like, he hurts you. Like, why did he do that? Like, if he loved you, like, why? Like, we never understood why. It was about trying to keep her around. It was a couple of times that my mom left. She didn't try to leave. Like, she left. But everywhere we went, he will find us. We've been to shelters. We tried family. He finds us. This went on for up until I was 11. He would come in town. Sometimes he come and he's not. Other times he's not. I mean, we usually know the times when he has a tail. So we always know. And then my mom is like, I don't want you around my kids like this. What are my kids do? But you're not acting like their father. I don't want you around them like this. So she didn't want us around him while he was like that. And when he was like that, and sometimes when he wasn't, he would interact with me. I was very shy. So I like, and then I'm preteen. So I like my door closed. I like my peace and quiet. Little brother annoyed me. So, I like my to be in my room. So when he would come and he would, knock on my door or whatever, his nickname for me was Applehead. So, he told me how much he loved me, what he about to do, the gifts he gonna buy me, how he gonna come get us, yada, 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 his usual song and dance. And when he says bye, I give him, a hug, and I go to kiss him on the cheek. He was still trying to kiss me on my mouth, and I'm like 10 years old at this time. And I'm like, ew, and I'm like, Daddy, no, I'll kiss you on the cheek. And I thought that was weird, but I brushed it off. It would be times that I'm not in my clothes fully. I just have my night going on, and I'm trying to yell and tell him, like, hold on, don't come in yet. And he's already coming in. So I have to like scramble to try to find something to cover up. And it wasn't anything that I really paid attention to at the moment. Like, it was always something in the back of my head, like, okay, well, this is weird. Like, why is he doing that? I didn't notice that I was acting different towards him. I didn't notice, because of what I would feel in those moments, the way that I would act towards him. But he did. And he made a comment to my mom, and he's like, I don't know what's wrong with Applehead. She acts like she doesn't like me. She don't want me around. And for one, why would I want you around? All you do is hurt my mom. Why would I want to be around that? Yes, I love you. Yes, I would love for you to be the father that I want you to be, but you're not that. It got to a point to where my mom was just completely done. She couldn't do it anymore. It was about 9:00 at night. He came over. He had been drinking. I'm in my room. They're in the living room, and they're arguing, and we're hearing them arguing. The argument stops because my mom goes to the bathroom, and he comes in my room, and he's like, you want to go riding with me? I'm going to let you drive. Something I've been asking him about forever. I'm excited. Yeah, let's go driving. I didn't know my mother told him no. I didn't know he asked her. And she told him no, that I can't go anywhere. That he's not taking me with her because I put my stuff on. He was like, well, hurry up so we can go. So I hurry up, I rush, I'm putting my stuff on, and we leave out the house. So my mother comes out the bathroom, we're already gone. We leave out the house, we get in the car, and we're riding around. I'm in the passenger seat, he's not letting me drive. And so I'm like, okay, well, when we go drive, he was like, well, give me a minute. I gotta make a couple of stops for work, and then, we'll go driving. 9:00 at night, what work are you doing? Because he did construction. What work are you doing at 9:00 at night? But I'm like, okay, sure. So we're riding around, we keep making stops. Every stop we make to see another man that he quote unquote worked with, and he's sitting outside and he's talking with them and he's drinking with them. And at this time, that's when the big 40 ounces were out. So he had one of those, and he's just steady drinking and talking. It's 10:00 at night. All right, Dad, I have school in the morning. Like, when are you gonna let me drive? Like, I'm getting tired. He was like, in a minute. Again, we're just steady stopping. We're steady stopping. We get to this house. So he did the remodeling for the houses. Well, this is the house that I'm gonna give your mom, you and your brother. And he was like, well, take a look around. And it was this weird feeling in my stomach as I walked in. And I don't really know how to explain it other than it didn't feel right. Like, I felt like something was wrong. And so I'm looking around, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is nice. And it's a red wall, and then it's a fireplace under the wall, and it's a radio on top of the fireplace. He goes and he turns the radio on, and that feeling that was in my stomach is getting bigger. And I'm like, okay, well, this is weird. So he was like, well, take a look around and go, look upstairs at where your rooms would be and things like that. And so I go and I'm walking to the steps. He's locking the doors. So I walk up the stairs and I'm like, oh, okay, this is nice. I can't really see a lot because, it's dark. Okay, well, it's nice. Okay, I'm ready to go. He was like, well, you didn't go and you didn't look at the attic. So I'm like, oh, okay. I go to open the door to the attic, and I opened it and I'm like, it's dark. I can't see up there. And as I go to turn back around and face him to leave, he kisses me. And I'm like, oh, what are you doing? And he tries to do it again. And when I pushed him this time, I didn't just run. I was leaping. like literally leaping down the stairs, running into the wall, leaping down the stairs. And as I get to the door, I run up against the door and I'm unlocking the locks. As soon as I get to the last lock, he's already there. And he pushes the door back closed and he throws me back up the stairs. He pushes me down. We didn't make it all the way up the stairs just yet, but he pushes me down and he's pulling my pants instead of pushing me up the stairs. He pushes me down onto the floor and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this to me? It went from being my father and my father's voice to something completely different. The tone of his voice changed, the look in his eyes changed, everything. And he's just like, shut up. You scream, you try to run again. I'm your brother and I'm you. I'm not your father. So at this point, I'm so scared. I don't know what to do other than go along with whatever he said. Whatever he said is what I did. I played into it because at that point, I'm going to make it home to my mom. You're not my mom. You're not my brother. You're not me. I'm making it home. So whatever I got to do to survive right now is what I have to do. Whatever he wanted to hear is what I said. He performed on me. He had me have with him. It was just, I felt like I had to become someone else just to, cause I couldn't wrap my head around what was going on. I'm like, this cannot be my life. This can't be my life. Like, this can't be what's happening. Anytime I got quiet or I tried to stop, it was another threat. And it was the tone in his voice that made me believe everything that he said, that he believed everything he said. When he was done, it was like a switch. And I'm sitting there and I'm trying to wrap my head around it still, and I'm trying to put my clothes on, and he just started talking to me like nothing happened. Everything is normal. Come on, let's go. We about to get ready to go home. Take you home because I know you have school tomorrow. I'm like, okay. And we're walking down the stairs and I'm still, am I really about to go home? Is he really about to take me home? I'm stuck. He's like, come on. So we get down the stairs and he's unlocking the door. I'm like, okay, well, maybe we really are leaving then. And when he opens the door, it was like a relief, but I feel like I still needed to be in a character until I actually seen my mother. So we're in the car. He was like, oh, I forgot. You said you wanted to drive. No, I'm okay. I just want to go home. So we're driving and he's talking to me like absolutely nothing just happened. Just regular conversation. At this point, I can't tell you what he was saying. I sat there and I looked out the window the entire time. So we get to my house. My mom comes flying down the stairs, frantic. I didn't say anything. I just walked upstairs in the house. She came running down the stairs. And they're arguing and she's cussing and she's fussing at him. I told you don't take my daughter. And she's just fussing. And at this point, I made it to the window and I'm just looking out the window and I just started to cry. She argued with him for a few minutes and he's just sitting there. He's just looking at her. And I hear the police sirens. As the police turn around the corner and he see that they're getting close, he look up at me. I will never forget the look in his eye. He looked up at me. And he smiled and he say, watch this. And he takes off down the street. And the police takes off down the street after him. Already crying and my mother's still frantic and she's yelling and she's yelling and she's yelling. And she's like, where did he take you? Where did he take you? Did he take you to one of his houses? Did he take you to one of his, like, where did he take you? And she's yelling and she's yelling and she's yelling. And I couldn't hold myself together anymore. I just broke down and started crying loud, even harder. And I told her, I'm like, he beat me. And she like, what? I'm like, he beat me. And it just got worse after that. My little brother went running out the house in just his underwear. So my mom is trying to chase him down the street and bring him back home. And it was just, it's like blank spots after that. I know EMS made it there by this time. My whole street and then some outside trying to figure out what's going on. Most of my neighborhood knew me because they knew my little cousins, my big cousins, and I was their little cousin. They knew, we look out for Dominique. And so everybody, when they seen that it was me, it just became even more a commotion. Police caught up with him. My father was a somewhat connected man, which is how he would find us anytime we left. He knew cops. He knew the mayor. He was friends with the mayor. The police caught him at the mayor's house. They brought him back. My mom told the cops what happened. And as my mom is telling the cops because she's so upset and yelling. Everybody heard her when she said it. The minute the neighborhood heard that, everyone went to the car and they're pulling on the car. They're pulling on the doors. They're trying to rip the doors off of the police car, telling them to let him out. Y'all not taking him to jail. Let him out. Let him out. Let him out. He's not going to jail. Let him out. Police won't let him out. The police didn't even want to take him to jail, but you know, they got to do their job. And I just remember sitting in the back of the truck and everyone's trying to ask me, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm just sitting there. I don't remember the drive to the hospital. I just remember the lights on the ceiling as they were rolling me in. The pain, the exam. I would have moments where all I can do is sit and rock in a corner and scrub my face with my fists. Because I never felt clean. No matter how many baths I took, no matter how much I scrubbed, no matter how hard I scrubbed, I could never get clean. I never felt clean. My mom would have to come and hold me and stop me from scrubbing my face because I was scrubbing so hard that I was turning red. I didn't go to school for a while, and even when I did go to school, they would find me under the stairs at school crying so much that the counselors would have to call my mom to come pick me up from school. I couldn't handle being around other people. Why do you want me to keep reliving it? For what? How is this going to help me? I want to forget it and I can't forget it, and you guys are not letting me forget it. I just want to forget. I would lock myself in my room all day long, and that's just where I stayed. They did arrest him. He did not get away, even though he thought his connections would let him get freedom. They did arrest him. He was sentenced to, he did, I think it was 18 to 25, and it was 15 to 25. 18 to 25 for the 15 to 25 for the kidnap, because he was charged with kidnapping and because he didn't have her permission. I wasn't allowed to go to court. My mom did all of that for me. She wouldn't let me go. He did serve all of his time. Every time he went up for parole, he was denied. I'm just now starting to get to a point to where I'm rediscovering myself, focusing on the things that I want to do and the things that I want to accomplish. It did make me want to create a nonprofit to help women of domestic violence and survivors of sexual assault. So that's something that I've currently been working on, as well as my podcast. My podcast has helped me a lot with just getting back to me and finding me and being a therapy that I really need, because talking about it does help. Talking about it not only helps me, but it does help someone else. Someone else can have hope. I never understood until recently why someone would want to keep living through that, until I really spoke to my mom. My mom stayed for us. It wasn't because she loved him. It wasn't because she was scared to leave. It was because of us. We all have our reasons for why we do it. At some point, you gotta find your strength. You're ready when you're ready. Just because we want you to be ready and we think that you should leave, it's not your time. You have to find your strength in your situation. Every tragedy has the ability to release something in us that we didn't even know that we had in us. And that's what that did for me. It's a lot of relationships that I've tried to repair and I'm working on repairing, but they're not there. And there's some that are completely severed, and I'm completely fine with that. I'm focusing on growing those things, and I'm trying to do the podcast and the therapies, and trying to help other people get to a point to where learning how to love themselves, because at the end of the day, that's what we have to do. We have to love ourselves to be able to heal properly, to be able to get to where we're trying to go. And that's something that I've learned, is to just love me. And I want to help other women get there and find that self-love. Let's take the journey together. So now I am 41 years old. Me and my mom are extremely close. She's always been my rock. I am currently working on my podcast. That's my therapy. It helped me get to where I'm trying to be. I'm also working on my nonprofit to help victims of domestic violence and sexual assault, men and women. I want to be able to help us all get to a point to where we find our self-love and our healing, because I think we all deserve that. We all need to know that we're special and that we're beautiful, and what happens to us does not define us. We define us. We have our power. And if you keep living in your situation, that's you giving your power away. I want to help us take our power back, because it's ours. And nobody deserves to have it but us.